Before going to that, actually because of network problem, so I could not finish karyotyping. Like मैंने बोला, but शायद it was not audible properly. So just a revision of what we did in last lecture, and then a short note on karyotyping. So in last lecture, basically we started with what? What is the structure of chromosome? I hope सबको याद है कि chromosome का structure क्या होता है. मैंने कुछ 5 important point बोले थे that you need to keep in mind when you talk about structure of chromosome. तो सबसे पहला point क्या था? The chromosome consists of two chromatids and which are linked together with a centromere. Centromere को क्या बोलते हैं और एक का primary construction. Then there is something called as kinetochore, which is a disc-like protein attached to the centromere, which helps in what? Spindle fiber formation or attachment. Then there is something called as chromonemata, which is nothing but the DNA which is actually present in a chromosome. Then telomeres, which are the ends of the chromosomes, and at last something called as satellite DNA or satellite bodies. Okay. After that, we have seen different types of chromosome based on the position of centromeres. So which includes metacentric, submetacentric, acrocentric, and telocentric. So which one among like all of this, which is not present in human beings? So telocentric. It's the only time which is not present in human beings. This was something like details about the sex chromosome. We are seeing that X chromosome is present, is XX is responsible for females and XY is present in the males. So X and Y are not similar, but they are having some region which is similar to each other called as homologous region, and some region which is not similar called as non-homologous region. और जो भी crossing over होता है between these two chromosomes that occurs in a homologous region. So X chromosome होता है metacentric and Y chromosome होता है acrocentric. And after that, we have started with karyotyping. Like, what is karyotyping basically? So karyotyping is a method to observe and basically and understand what all chromosomes are present in a particular individual. So मैंने example लिया कि okay, अगर कोई तो if a lady is pregnant again, and then in a sonography they observe that there is some problem, like the baby is not giving the normal feature, there is some problem which might lead that कि after delivery वो बेबी को कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स या फिर कुछ डिसीजेस हो सकता है. So we can predict कि क्या है, and we can actually find out it even before delivery. तो उसके लिए क्या करते हैं कि वो बेबी का like during pregnancy only some amniotic fluid is taken out, and फिर उसमें से हम लोग उसका DNA निकाल के then we actually do karyotyping. And karyotyping में हम लोग क्या करते हैं, it is nothing but the pairing and ordering of all the chromosomes. तो हम लोग देखिए कि ओके वो बेबी के पास कितने क्रोमोसोम्स हैं. तो अगर नॉर्मल है तो उसके पास 46 क्रोमोसोम होने चाहिए, which includes 22 pairs of autosomes and 1 pair of sex chromosomes, also called as allosomes. And अगर उसमें कोई kind of different types can be possible after delivery. So that is the basic reason about that is very logic people are doing. It's very commonly used technique, and people actually use it for as a basic but most reliable method to check the genetic diseases which are related to chromosomes. So if I want to go to gene level, I can't do karyotyping and identify the problems जो कि gene level पे होंगे. अगर मुझे सिर्फ karyotyping का एक ही फायदा है कि वो मुझे क्रोमोसोम लेवल में कुछ प्रॉब्लम होगा तो वही बता सकता है, कुछ एक्स्ट्रा है, कुछ कम है, कुछ कटा हुआ है, कुछ मिसिंग है. All that sort of information I will get from the karyotyping. Okay, तो मैंने लास्ट टाइम प्रोसेस अगर किसी इंडिविजुअल को चेक करना है, आई वांट टू डू karyotyping फॉर वन ऑफ यू. सो व्हाट आई विल डू कि मैं सबसे पहले तुम्हारा ब्लड लूंगा, देन उससे मैं आरबीसीएस को सेपरेट करूंगा, डब्ल्यूबीसीएस को लूंगा बिकॉज डब्ल्यूबीसीएस के पास डीएनए होता है, आरबीसीएस के पास डीएनए नहीं होता है इस हिसाब से. देन वो डब्ल्यूबीसीएस को हम लोग लेके उसका पहले सेल मेम्ब्रेन ब्रेक करेंगे, देन न्यूक्लियर मेम्ब्रेन ब्रेक करेंगे यूजिंग डिफरेंट केमिकल्स और डिफरेंट मेथड्स. एंड फाइनली जब ये सब ब्रेक होगा the chromosomes will be visible under microscope if we stain them using different methods. So there are different methods for staining chromosome. One of them is called like GIMSA staining. This is not in your book, but just for general knowledge, something called like GIMSA staining, GIMSA, is used for staining the particular chromosomes or karyotyping purpose. And then you can observe the chromosomes under microscope, and you can actually see. So the first image, if you see the upper part, जो circular दिख रहा है, यहाँ पे तुम लोग को सब दिखेंगे ऐसे बिखरे पड़े हैं. Then you will actually karyotype them. मतलब क्या करोगे? You will take कि कौन सा क्रोमोसोम सिमिलर है. Then you will start pairing them and arranging them. तो ये pair number 1 है, pair number 2 है, ये 3 है, and till sex chromosome. So that is the one normal method which you do. Then nowadays a new methods has been discovered and are currently used. उसमें एक फायदा है कि हम लोग instead of using a normal staining processes, we use something called as fluorescent dyes. और मैं क्या करूँगा? I will not use the same fluorescent color dye. I will use different dyes so that I will easily identify कि कौन कौन से chromosomes है. So if you see the second image, जहाँ पे सब ऐसा microscopic view दिखाया है और chromosomes are like ऐसा mixed view में दिखाए हैं. So some are grey, some are green, some are blue, some are red, orange, and so. So it will help me to identify and understand कि कौन कौन से chromosomes है, and then I will try to sort them down. I will try to order them or organize them. You can last image में दिखाया है. So you can see one pair number 1 to pair last pair, that is the sex chromosome. So यहाँ पे this particular individual is having X and Y. मतलब ये जो sample था वो तो male individual का होगा. Okay. And the third important thing is whenever I am doing karyotyping, I have to make sure that all the chromosomes which are present, sorry, all the cells which are I'm using for the particular purpose should be in a metaphase. Why? Because you all know there is something called as interphase and M phase in a cell cycle. So M phase का जो metaphase होता है, in this particular phase, the DNA is highly condensed, so that because of this, the chromosomes are very clearly visible. You can actually see the chromosome under microscope, which is difficult in case of interphase. Why? Because interphase में chromosome कैसे होता है? Like a thread-like structure. Okay, so it is very difficult to visualize chromosome under in interphase, but it is very nicely visible and studied under in metaphase. So there are different methods which can be used to restrict the cells in metaphase, because ऐसे ही अगर मैं cells को रख दिया, they will keep on growing. ऐसे ही बोलना देखो कि तुम लोग को interphase में then they will stay in interphase. We have to maintain certain conditions because of which the cells will stay in a metaphase. Okay. So there are different. So I hope you must have heard something called as colchicine and all. So these are some chemicals which are used for restricting the cell in metaphase. That is all about karyotyping. Please let me know अगर कुछ doubt है यहाँ तक, so that we can start with today's lecture. Okay, कुछ doubt है till now about structure of chromosomes, sex chromosomes, and karyotyping? Is there anything? Okay, so I think there is nothing. So let's move now. So today we'll start with the next lecture. That is, in this lecture we will mainly talk about linkage and crossing over. तो अभी तक हम लोगों ने chromosomes के बारे में, पहले हमने genes के बारे में सीखा in Mendelism. Then we studied something called as neo-Mendelism, which is nothing but the deviation from the Mendel's experiments. Then we saw chromosomes. What is the background? What is the structure? What is the numbers? What is the types? And what is karyotyping? With this, we start, now we have completed the study of chromosomes, and now we will start with a new concept, something called as linkage and crossing over. I think crossing over is not new to you because you must have studied crossing over in your cell division chapter 11th standard during meiosis. So you know crossing over happens during meiosis of the cell division. So linkage is something I think must be new to all of you. Then we will start now what is exactly linkage means. Okay, so from my first lecture onwards, I'm telling you there is something called as like DNA, genes, chromosomes. So I'm basically the same hierarchy. Okay, cell के अंदर nucleus है, nucleus के अंदर nucleolus है, फिर वहाँ पे है chromosomes, क्रोमोसोम किससे बनता है? डीएनए से, और डीएनए में क्या होता है? जीन्स होते हैं, एंड द जीन्स आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर ऑल द कैरेक्टर्स which we are showing internally as well as externally. So there are 46 chromosomes. So each of this chromosome shows presence of certain genes. So last time मैंने बोला था कि human genome में there are total 20,000 genes present. Okay, so you can, so this 20,000 genes which I am talking about are divided or are present on different chromosomes, like from chromosome number 1 to chromosome number 46. Okay, so as I mentioned now, so there are several genes which are present on one chromosome. So as the chromosomes, we are saying that the chromosomes are getting transferred from one generation to next generation. That's how the inheritance we are saying. So as the chromosomes are carriers of heredity, and they are getting transferred from parents to offspring, these genes which are present on the particular chromosome have tendency to be inherited together. तो अभी इसका मतलब क्या है कि okay, एक क्रोमोसोम पे अगर there are 10 genes which are very close to each other, मतलब बहुत नजदीक नजदीक है, so जब ये क्रोमोसोम जाएंगे तो the entire chromosome will get transferred, और उसकी वजह से वो पूरे के पूरे 10 genes will go to the next generation. So these genes which are actually getting inherited together are called as linkage. It's called as linkage. Okay. Why? Because they are getting inherited together. Please make this clear. The tendency of these genes to get inherited together is called as linkage, and the genes which are getting inherited are called as linked gene. Okay. So the linkage, the phenomenon of linkage was actually discovered in plants by Batson and Punnett. However, in case of animals, it was done by T.H. Morgan, and Morgan has done extremely good work uh, for in terms of linkage, and उसने बहुत कुछ prove किया है, which is very beneficial to understand genetics in more details basically. Okay, so there are two main types of linkage, which are the complete linkage and incomplete linkage. Okay, so there are two main types of linkage: complete linkage and incomplete linkage. So now what is complete and incomplete linkage? So I will talk understand properly कि दोनों में difference क्या है, and it is mainly asked as also distinguish between the two. So तुम लोग के लिए और beneficial है कि you will understand it. Okay, so what is complete linkage? So when the link genes which are closely located on the chromosome do not separate. Why do not separate? Because they are already very close to get separated. So whenever there is transfer, वो सब साथ में ही जाते हैं. So that's why they do not get separated and inherit together. That's why they are called as completely linked genes, which are strongly linked because they are very close to each other. On other hand, incomplete linkage क्या होता है? When the linked genes which are distantly located, मतलब उसके बीच में बहुत ज़्यादा distance है, they are not close enough on the same chromosome, and because they are not close and they are very distant from each other, there are chances that during crossing over, which happens during meiosis, this genes might not get inherited together, मतलब वो साथ में नहीं जा सकते. That's why they are called as incompletely linked or weakly linked genes. Okay, so that's what the difference is. So they are called as completely linked, and the phenomenon is called as complete linkage. However, when they are not very close and there is crossing over happening, it is called as incomplete linkage. So when I say complete linkage, when it's very common. So when we say when some parental traits, मतलब जैसे parents के पास है the same trait, जैसे बच्चे में भी दिखेंगे, we will say this is because of complete linkage, because जो parents के जीन से वो वैसे के वैसे without any crossing over, without any changes बच्चे में आ गए हैं या फिर offspring में आ गए. That's why this is complete linkage. On other hand, so let's say some genes which are not close enough, so they will undergo crossing over. So जब crossing over होता है, there is something called as recombination. So crossing over होगा तो genes का mixture होगा, there will be then new varieties will coming in the picture. So these new traits will observe in case of incomplete linkage. Okay, and then there are few examples like X chromosome or Drosophila male shows complete linkage, and in case of incomplete linkage, Zia males, the general males of which the color and shape of the grain actually shows incomplete linkage. So I hope you understand what is complete and incomplete linkage. In this particular two topics, you need to understand the difference. कि एक में the genes are very closely located, एक में they are distantly located. एक में crossing over नहीं होता, एक में crossing over होता है. Okay, I hope this is clear. अगर कोई doubt होगा, please पूछो. और अगर कुछ रहेगा तो you can directly unmute and ask, because when I'm using this slideshow mode for presentation, actually मुझे chat box दिखता नहीं, so I have to keep on opening it बीच-बीच में and check करना पड़ता है. So if you have any doubt, you can directly unmute and ask. Okay. Then I hope you understand what I meant with linkage and the two types of linkage, that is complete and incomplete linkage. Okay. Then there is something called as linkage group. So as I mentioned that on each chromosome there are multiple genes, and all of these genes on one chromosome are actually said to be linked. So some are strongly linked or some are weakly linked. No matter distance kitna hai, but then they are actually linked because they are present on the same chromosome. So that's why they are said to be linked to one another and belong to one linkage group. So I can say that one chromosome denotes me one linkage group. So that's why it has been mentioned over here. So when I talk about linkage group, it means all the linked genes in a particular chromosome considered one linkage group because they are linked to one another either strongly or weakly. When I will say strongly, जबकि वो closely linked रहेंगे या फिर close रहेंगे on location wise. When I say weakly, because जब वो distance पे रहेंगे, they are not close enough, but they are present on a same chromosome. That's why we call it linkage group. Okay. So the number of linkage group in a particular species actually corresponds to its haploid number of chromosomes. So as I mentioned previously, what is haploid number? So let's take example of human beings. We are having total 46 chromosomes, but we are diploid. So what is the haploid number? 46 is divided by 2, that is 23. So we are having 23 pairs, and that is also haploid number for human beings. So the number of linkage group of a particular species corresponds to its haploid number of
सर आवाज नहीं आ रहा.
Drosophila actually has a 4 linkage group. So when I say 4 linkage, it means there are 8 chromosomes. Okay. Just a minute. Okay, so when I say linkage group, it is nothing but the haploid number of chromosomes. I hope abhi awaaz aa raha hai. And there are about, so when I talk about Drosophila, जिसके पास total number है 8, उसका मतलब है, and Drosophila is also diploid. So haploid number क्या रहेगा? 4 pairs. मतलब 4 chromosomes will be the haploid number. So when I say 4 is a haploid number of chromosome in a Drosophila, it means there will be 4 linkage groups. Okay. तो टोटल क्रोमोसोम नंबर 8, हैप्लॉइड कितना रहेगा 4. तो अगर हैप्लॉइड 4 है तो लिंकेज ग्रुप भी कितने रहेंगे? 4 रहेंगे. ओके. सेम गोस फॉर गार्डन पीस. गार्डन पीस में टोटल 14 क्रोमोसोम्स रहते हैं. 14 मतलब हैप्लॉइड नंबर कितना रहेगा? 7. तो देयर विल बी 7 लिंकेज ग्रुप इन केस ऑफ गार्डन पीस. तो प्लीज अभी मुझे बताओ, व्हाट विल बी द लिंकेज ग्रुप फॉर ह्यूमन बीइंग्स? यू कैन ईदर राइट डाउन इन अ चैट बॉक्स और unmute and tell. But
23.
23.
Yeah. So in case of human beings, there will be 23 chromosomes. Yeah.
23.
So there will. Okay, I got it. Thank you. So there will be 23 chromosome linkage group in case of human beings. Okay. How that's clear. Then that is all about the normal chromosomes and overall what is linkage and linkage groups. Now let's come to the sex chromosomes and what is sex linkage. Okay, so when I talk about sex chromosomes, so even last time मैंने mention किया था कि there are certain genes which are present on a sex chromosome. So when I say a particular gene is present on a sex chromosome and then it is getting transferred, we call it sex-linked genes. Okay, so that's what the definition also says. The transmission of some X-linked or Y-linked genes, मतलब the genes which are present on either X chromosome or Y chromosomes from parents to offspring is called as X-linked chromosome. Okay, and it can be the like sex linkage can be of three types. It can be X-linked because the genes might be present only on X chromosome. It can be Y-linked because the genes can be present only on Y chromosome, or it can be XY linked. मतलब the genes can be present either on X, like both on X and Y chromosomes. Okay, that are the three types of sex-linked inheritance. And if we talk mainly about sex linkage, there is overall two main types, as we seen in normal linkage also. Same as the normal linkage, that is a complete and incomplete. So we call it complete sex linkage and incomplete sex linkage. Okay, I hope it's clear. So now, what is the difference between complete and incomplete sex linkage? Okay, so sorry. When I say complete sex linkage, it is something which is exhibited by genes located on non-homologous region of X and Y chromosomes. So मैंने कल डिस्कस किया था something called as color blindness का example, which is nothing but the X-linked gene. So this is which is present on a non-homologous region of the X chromosome. So when I say complete sex linkage, it is can be exhibited by the genes located on non-homologous regions of X or Y chromosome. And when I say incomplete, it is nothing but exhibited by genes located on homologous region of X and Y chromosome. So now, okay. Yeah, thank you. So please make clear this point. Complete sex linkage के केस में it's non-homologous region and incomplete के केस में it's homologous region. So if you compare the definition of an incomplete linkage, if you remember, I had mentioned there is something called as crossing over taking place. The same case happen in case of incomplete sex linkage. So I had mentioned in the last lecture also. In case of sex chromosome, the crossing over takes place between the homologous regions of the two chromosomes. So that's why it will lead to variation. So I have now you can connect it. See, complete में non-homologous क्यों है और incomplete में homologous क्यों है. So the next point says that this particular genes present on X and Y chromosomes in case of complete sex linkage inherited together because crossing over does not occur in this region. Okay, I think now you will understand. As I mentioned, crossing over happens in which region? Non-homologous region. Complete sex linkage happens in case of non-homologous region. So that's why as crossing over is not happening, it will not show. It will show a complete sex linkage. However, in case of incomplete sex linkage, they do not inherit together because crossing over is happening. So as there is crossing over happening, दोनों chromosomes एक दूसरे के साथ cross over होंगे, so there will be some new combinations will be there because it will be not a pure parental trait. Okay, so अगर example देने हैं तो in case of complete sex linkage, there is hemophilia. It is also called as Bleeder's disease. What is it? We will talk in detail in our next part of our chapter. हम लोग को ये सब discuss करना है in detail. Then there is something called as red-green color blindness, जो मैंने कल explain किया था. Then myopia, और in case of violent genes, there is something called as hypertrichosis and ectasiosis. So ये सब discuss करेंगे in next class. And in case of incomplete sex linkage, there are different types called as XY linked traits, like color blindness, nephritis, and retinitis pigmentosa. So please make sure don't get confused between color blindness. Red-green color blindness and total color blindness. Okay, I hope you understand. Red-green मतलब only red and green देखने में problem होगा, and total में मतलब सब colors नहीं दिखेंगे. It will be all gray or grayish black in color. So that's the difference between red-green color blindness and total color blindness. I hope this is clear. complete sex linkage and sex linkage, incomplete sex linkage. Okay. Now,
हेलो
as
सर. सर
हाँ
लास्ट स्लाइड दिखाएगा ना? दिखाओ ना प्लीज.
हाँ
इससे भी पहले वाला. हाँ. नहीं, इससे पहले वाला. हाँ, थैंक यू.
ओके हाँ बोलो ना,
नहीं
आवाज नहीं आ
सर, इसके आगे वाला.
रही ये वाला.
हाँ हाँ, जस्ट 2 मिनट. ओके सर, थैंक यू.
ओके so ये था all about linkage. So I will again mention what is linkage. When two or more links, two or more genes are linked together or they are inheriting together, we call it linkage. They can be completely linked or incompletely linked. Okay, so that's what we talk about linkage. So now, in case of incomplete linkage, we have mentioned that there is something called as crossing over, which is not allowing the genes to get completely linked or to get inherited together. तो एक्चुअली क्रॉसिंग ओवर होता क्या है? आई थिंक इट्स नॉट न्यू टू ऑल ऑफ यू. ऐसे मैंने पहले बोला, तुम लोगों ने सब पहले पढ़ा है इन योर 11th स्टैंडर्ड. तो जस्ट अ रिवीजन की क्रॉसिंग ओवर होता क्या है. तो क्रॉसिंग ओवर इज अ प्रोसेस दैट प्रोड्यूसेस न्यू कॉम्बिनेशन. सो आई थिंक यू ऑल रिमेंबर क्रॉसिंग ओवर का जॉब ही है बिकॉज ऑफ विच वी आर all different. There is variation between parents and offspring, between the siblings of the same parents, and from the species to species. So that's because of this crossing over which happens during meiosis. Okay, so it is a process which produces new combinations. In other terms, or in a common term, we call it recombinations of genes by interchanging and exchanging of corresponding segment with non-sister chromatids of homologous chromosomes. So I hope you understand what is homologous chromosome. The chromosomes which are structurally and genetically and morphologically similar. Okay, जिसमें सब similar है वैसे chromosomes को हम लोग बोलते हैं homologous chromosomes. So the chromosomes, अगर मैं बोलूँ कि in case of these two chromosomes, so this is a pair of homologous chromosomes. The blue one ये है उसके sister chromatids, or in case of red it is a these are the sister chromatids. However, red and blue are non-sister chromatids. Okay, तो क्रॉसिंग ओवर किसके बीच में होता है? बिटवीन द non-sister chromatids of homologous chromosome. So in a second part you can say there is a crossing over happening. ये जो पॉइंट है जहाँ पे क्रॉसिंग ओवर होता है उसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं? काइस्माटा फॉर्मेशन और crossing over point. Okay, and then after completing of crossing over, a particular part of this red chromosome will be get transferred to blue, and the blue chromosome will get transferred to red, and that's how it will give us new recombination. So okay, these two chromosomes जो हम लोग देख रहे हैं in the last image are not exactly similar to the parents. That's why they are different, and that's why we call them recombinant. So I hope you understand the term parental and recombinant, because इसके आगे हम लोग ये terms again use करेंगे. Something called as parental, which is exactly similar to the parents, and something called as recombinant, which is not as similar, but there are some changes as we compare them to the parental phenotype. Okay, so this is the basic process of crossing over. As I mentioned, it occurs during the packaging of process 1. So I hope you all remember when I talk about meiosis, the very first is karyogenesis, which is includes different phases. Uska first phase is, which is includes again the 5 different subphases called as or substages, which are the leptotin, zygotin, pachytin, diplotin, and diakinesis. Okay, so of them pachytin में क्या होता है? Crossing over होता है. So the term crossing over is again was coined by Morgan, because Morgan ने एक बहुत ज़्यादा काम किया है on crossing over and linkage. Okay, and the mechanism of crossing over which the Morgan has which is studied actually includes different stages. So I think this is something again the same thing which we have seen in a cell division. So if you remember, there is something called a synapsis जो होता है zygote में. There is something called a tetrad formation, crossing over. ये सब already you have studied in a cell division part of your 11th standard. So the crossing over also includes the 4 major stages, which includes synapsis, which occurs in a zygote stage of the chromosome of a cell division. I'm sorry, of a cell division. Then tetrad formation, crossing over, and the final terminalization. Okay, so then this particular phenomenon of crossing over is universal because almost all species follows this particular pattern of crossing over and shows variations, and it is necessary, as I mentioned, for natural selection because it increases the chances of variation. So it's not just human beings which are showing this particular crossing over or linkage. Morgan का पूरा काम was on a was on a fruit fly, that is the Drosophila melanogaster. Okay, so you can imagine, matlab, he actually had studied everything in a Drosophila, which is belonging to the phylum Arthropoda, जो कि एक insect है, and actually we are connecting and extrapolating जो studies हमने वहाँ पे किया है to the human beings. मतलब yeah, we will study it in a Drosophila and we will compare क्योंकि अगर Drosophila में ऐसा हो रहा है, so what are the chances that the same thing will happen in a human being? So just compare and see the difference. Drosophila is an arthropod. We belong to what? Mammals. That is also highly evolved mammals. Okay. So still there are some similarities. So we call it generally homologous or homology because some genes are similar. So it's not only Drosophila. Even there are some bacteria which had shown similar genes. Okay, उनका structure may be different कि उन लोग का coding or we can say the typical nucleotide pattern can be or sequence may differ because the function is exactly similar. Okay, so that's about basics about crossing over. Then Morgan ने बहुत कुछ experiments किए थे to prove what he wants to say. So very his major focus was on a sex-linked chromosomes and a crossing over कि उनका pattern क्या है study करने में. So as I mentioned, उसका study organism was Drosophila melanogaster. What was the study material or let's say experimental material for Mendel's experiment? Please write it down in the chat box. Okay, कि वो क्या था. So in case of Morgan's
सर क्वेश्चन
experiment,
बोलो
it was,
वापस.
okay, what was the experimental material for Mendel's experiment? उसने किस पे study किया था? Okay, so I expect everyone to reply. There are around 70 students in this class. So just one word कि क्या है उसका experimental model जिसमें Mendel ने 3 laws दिए थे. Okay, so that was about Mendel, but now we will start about Morgan's experiment. So Morgan ने क्या use किया था? Morgan has used fruit fly, which is जिसका scientific name है Drosophila melanogaster. This tiny insect actually had helped us to understand the genetics to a different level. Okay, so why he has chosen Drosophila? उसको क्या मजा आ रहा था क्या इतना छोटा सा फ्लाई को पकड़ के उसको एक्सपेरिमेंट करो एंड ऑल. दैट इज नॉट एक्चुअली इजी जॉब. इफ यू लुक एट द ड्रोसोफिला और स्मॉल फ्रूट फ्लाइज, मतलब यू कैन इजीली स्मैश देम. अगर ऐसे तुम लोगों ने देखा ग्रोइंग ऑन bananas or something at home. So even in this particular monsoon season, it's very common that कुछ भी अगर थोड़ा भी बोलते ना wet रहेगा या फिर there is moisture on a particular place, this particular fruit flies grow very easily. So but then Morgan has given some reasons which were actually valid and which actually made him successful in what he was trying to prove. So why he chose Drosophila as a experimental organism? The very first reason was Drosophila can be easily cultured in a laboratory. So you just need to put some food for them and then they will start growing on that. It's as easy as that. There are many scientists currently, even in Mumbai. I don't know how many of you know. In TIFR, the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, they actually work on this Drosophila and all, and they actually have proven many fundamental mechanisms जो अभी तक हम लोग को पता नहीं थे, but they are trying to prove using Drosophila because it is easy to culture in a laboratory. It is quite difficult to use mice या फिर monkeys. Monkeys are very rarely used because of the ethical concerns and difficulty in handling. Mice and rats are commonly used for study, but then again difficult to handle because size बड़ा होता है and उनका lifespan is also like quite different. So insect are a best choice to do. अगर हमें insect से भी lower stage पे काम करना है, then generally we go on a bacteria stage. If I talk about bacteria, a very commonly studied bacteria is Escherichia coli, which is very commonly used for most of the genetic studies. Okay, this is not even in a book, just for your knowledge and for NET students. Okay, that is the first reason. Then next reason is its lifespan is very short, and that is about 2 weeks. So it is easy. मतलब we don't need to wait for a longer time. कि okay वो बड़ा होगा, then वो कुछ property दिखेगा, then they will show like they will give mating, then they will give offspring, and फिर उसका study like we don't want to wait for longer period. So 2 weeks में they can finish up their lifespan, which is quite short and easy to maintain. So that is another reason in case of selecting the Drosophila as a experimental organism. And the third, as I mentioned also, it has a high rate of reproduction. So it can reproduce very fast and we get a large number of population. So as I mentioned in our first lecture also, whenever we want to prove something, it's not like कि मैंने 10 लोगों को पे किया, 20 लोगों को किया, 20 people I have chosen and I'm doing something. No, it's not in, it will not work in that way. Because if you observe the population, so again, if you take a very, we can say famous example, currently, अगर तुम लोगों ने सुना रहेगा, government like the ICMR has announced that कि okay 15th August को कोरोना के लिए वैक्सीन आएगा, the Covaxin will get released on 15th August. They did not mention the year, they just mentioned कि okay by 15th August we will be releasing the vaccine. The things behind that is quite different. But then the point of telling it at this point is many people actually has objected. Like they were like, no, this is not possible. मतलब इतने short period में, जबकि 6 महीने पहले we were not even able to understand कि ये कोरोना है क्या. And now you are saying कि in these 6 months you actually have found something called as vaccine for a corona. Let me tell you, to any vaccine to come in market, it takes around 8 to 10 years. And if max to max, I want to tell, it takes around 15 years. Just imagine, जो चीज के लिए 10 से 15 साल लगता है, we are not getting it in a 6 month or 1 year span. The researchers are doing very hard work for that, but it's not easy. Why not easy? Again the same reason, because ऐसे मैं 10 लोगों को लेके उनको मैंने वैक्सीन दिया, they showed me very good results and I am happy हो रहे मेरा वैक्सीन काम कर रहा है. It does not work in that way. We need to do a systematic study जिसमें हम लोग पहले 50 पे चेक करेंगे, then 500 पे करेंगे, then 50,000 पे करेंगे, and then we will say कि okay it's working. And even this population, it's not like in एक ही type का. I will check on small बच्चे लोग like from newly born to 5 years age, then I will check from 5 years old to 20 years, then I will go for adult कि okay 20 to 40 में क्या हो रहा है, then I will check कि 40 to 60 में क्या हो रहा है, is it showing the same result or not. All these things are involved and that's why it takes a lot of time, and that's the reason we get very significant data कि at last I can say कि okay क्या ये पर्टिकुलर चीज जो मैं स्टडी कर रहा हूँ वो इफेक्टिव है क्या. इफ समवन सेज कि ओके तूने जो किया है that is working for adults but not for a pregnant ladies, then that makes no sense, because मैंने चेक ही नहीं किया कि वो प्रेग्नेंट वुमन पे काम कर रहा है नहीं कर रहा है क्या. so that's why वो बोले ना एक बड़ा and overall study करना is important, and for that we need a large number of population, and that's why all experiment even in case of Mendel उसने भी जो plant select किया था it was very it was giving a large number of seeds which was giving large number of plants, so that's why it was easy for him to conclude कि जो वो study कर रहा है that is actually something happening and not something कि ऐसे time pass उसने किया and something by chance उसको मिला. It is not by chance but it is because of some logic behind it, is because of some concept behind it. That's why the high rate of reproduction is important, because it will give us large number of population of this particular Drosophila. So these are the 3 main reasons behind the Drosophila, section of Drosophila. Then the Morgan has carried out several dihybrid cross experiments. I hope you all remember dihybrid क्या होता है. क्या कोई मुझे बता सकता है what is dihybrid cross? Please unmute and tell.
जब हम एक ही टाइम पे 2 कैरेक्टर्स के बारे में स्टडी करते हैं, उनके बीच में क्रॉस करते हैं, उसको डायहाइब्रिड क्रॉस बोलते हैं.
Exactly, very good. So that is called as dihybrid cross, and so Morgan ने भी same try किया in case of this particular fruit flies or let's say Drosophila, and but he was studying the genes which are the sex-linked genes. That is the chromosome, the genes which are present on sex chromosome. So, for example, he actually had done a cross between the yellow-bodied and white-eyed female with a wild type, that is a brown-bodied and red-eyed male. And he actually has studied the F1 progeny. So this is the overall experiment of the Morgan. So the first experiment है उसने yellow and white जो कि recessive type है उसका use किया था, and the wild type में is brown and red eyed. So if you see the Y and W or Y plus and W, so when I give a plus mark on anything or any gene, it shows dominant character or a wild type character, and the other is like showing recessive character. So and on in a cross one, it's a for a yellow and white and a brown and red, whereas cross two is with respect to the wings, so white and miniature wings or normal wings, that kind of thing. So what he was observing or what was his exactly motto? So Morgan knew that the genes are located on the X chromosome, and then he said that when the two genes in a dihybrid cross were situated on the same chromosome, so there will be large proportion of the parental gene combinations. Okay, so there will be a large number of parental phenotypes. Why? Because they are present close to each other. मतलब they will inherit together. They will not get, because there will be no crossing over happening because they are present very close to each other. And that's why the parental types will be higher. So if you see in the first case, 98.7% is a parental and recombinant is very less, because if you see the image also, Y and W are situated very close to each other. However, in a second cross, they are W and N, which are different characters or a wing character M. The genes are not close to each other; they are quite far away. So there will be crossing over. So even in the first case, the crossing over is happening. The genes will tend to stay together because they are very close to each other. However, in a second case, if the crossing over happens, the gene will get separated or they will get segregated, and they will show some different combinations. So that we call as recombinant. So if the genes are not located very close to each other, we will get around different, like quite higher proportion of the recombinant. So if you compare it to the Mendel's also, so if you remember the hybrid clause, जहाँ पे हम लोग को phenotypic ratio मिलता है 9:3:3:1. So if you just compare this, you will understand the ratio is quite similar what Mendel got. Okay, so the very important thing over is कि whenever the genes are close together, we will get higher proportion of the parental, and when the genes are located quite at a far away from each other, they will show non-parental. That is a recombinant phenotype. Okay, and why it is happening? It is because of the linkage of two genes, and the recombinants which we are observing, or a non-parental phenotype which we are observing, is because of the crossing over which is happening between the two genes. Okay. So what Morgan has stated then, when genes are grouped on the same chromosome, again I am saying the same thing, some genes are very tightly linked. So when they are tightly linked, there are low chances of recombination. Please make this clear. When they are tightly linked, low chances of recombination, and parental type will be more expressed. Okay. However, if they are not, they are loosely linked, there will be high level of recombination. Okay. So for this example, if you see, the genes white and yellow were tightly linked in a first cross, and that's why they are showing only 1.3% of recombination, while white and miniature in case of second cross are showing 37.2% of recombination. So I hope you now get this point. The distance does matter, and crossing over also does matter for getting the recombination. Okay, so that's what the Morgan was trying to prove, and that's how the linkage and crossing over plays role for getting a particular parental phenotype or getting a particular non-parental phenotype. So this is the overall experiment for Morgan's study on a Drosophila. एक पहले इसमें उसने येलो एंड व्हाइट पे किया था, सेकंड इसमें उसने व्हाइट एंड मिनिएचर विंग्स में किया था. ओके, मिनिएचर नॉर्मल, these are types of wings basically in case of Drosophila. So this is all for today. Kindly let me know कि कुछ doubts है क्या. Today we started with the linkage. We checked what is linkage, what are the types of linkage. Then we moved towards sex linkage, different types of sex linkage, the difference between complete and incomplete sex linkage, and then crossing over in detail, followed by Morgan's experiment. So please let me know if कोई doubt है क्या. If no, then I have few questions. Hello.